Guys, Spino here. Welcome back to another Honkai Star Royale video. Today we're going to be discussing about if you should pull on Firefly on a rerun or should you pull Fugue. Of course, after Sunday, she's going to be our next support. Let's be honest. She is a support and she is specifically a break support. And most of you are literally in this decision of should we pull or should we not pull because you want to save up for future units too. And yeah, she looks really good, and but I'm gonna be honest, she's mostly a specific playstyle. Like if you like break, you kind of want to have her, and if you don't like break, I think she's like an easy skip. I'm gonna be honest, she's like a free skip in the game. And Sunday, I hope you got it because I don't know, like I think Sunday is pretty decent, but yeah, some Dream says he's kind of useless. He only works with certain units, and I hope it's wrong because I literally gone bankrupt on in-game for getting him. So I hope that's wrong and everything. I'm moving on to Fugue and Firefly. Fugue, like I said, she's literally specific on break, and if you don't like break, just skip her. You don't need her out at all because the only other team that can actually work on is an Acheron team, but that team is really expensive. So just skip. If you're not a break enjoyer, straight or skip. Don't even come and ask me anything. Just skip. You don't need to look into any other videos. Just straight or skip. But you like break playstyle, or you at least own a break unit like Rappa, Boot Hill, or even Firefly, she is going to be a must pull, especially if you don't own any Eidolons. Like, she is so good for easier S1. It's unbelievable. The damage increase is really good. If you don't know what her kit is simple. She provides an exo toughness or super break by existing. On top of, she provides the exo toughness. I think it's like 30% of the real toughness bar, so really good, more damage, more front loaded damage, so you don't need to worry. Plus she also covers some of the weakness of the other DPS like Rappa's traits. She can get more stacks with extra toughness on top of Boot Hill's pocket trick shot. With Fugue's help, he can easily gain more pocket trick shots. Like maybe one enemy, one small mob can literally get him all the 3 stacks. It's really good. So it, like, she covers some of the weakness. Plus she also provides a little bit of all type respect for your DPS. It's not that high, but when you add one May on the mix, it kind of makes a little difference. Plus her ult is simple. It's like an alt type. I think toughness reduction, nothing crazy. It's just straight out that she doesn't add any debuff. I think the only debuff she has is like defense down with her enhanced basic, and that's it. Now, like I said, her biggest value is going to be on break. So if you don't like break, you could straight or skip. And if you wanna use break units above 3 point patches, because we're gonna be going to a new planet that is called Ampharos. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but if you want to use your break units beyond 3.0, you 100% need her, and there are mainly 2 reasons. First reason, we won't have HMC. We have to decide on which MC you want to run, right? And unfortunately, Remembrance MC's kit is really broken, so you kind of want to use that. And the second half, you want to use a break team, you 100% want to able to use HMC, so you need Fugue. On top of it, they are kind of nerfing. They're indirectly nerfing break DPS in a way, because of some of the enemies having. It's like a freaking, what is that called? They have break invulnerability. Simply, they have this stupid bar. It's like a shield, but you won't able to damage through it. It's kind of cringe. Simply, you won't able to reduce their toughness bar, and if you cannot reduce the toughness bar, you simply want to damage as a break unit. So it's kind of cringe. So you want to break that and do as much damage as fast as you can. For that, you kind of need Fugue. So yeah, it's like they're kind of it's like they're nerfing break at the same time. They're making you want to pull Fugue really bad, and it's that simple. So if you're break DPS, pull her. Otherwise, just skip her. I want to keep this video short as possible. That's why I'm, saying everything fast as I can. But I hope you get it, okay? I just skip her. If you don't like break, just skip her. But if you want to use break in the future and you already have a break DPS and you just want, if you're just indecisive on HMC or Fugue, just get Fugue. She is gonna be worth for break. Now, Firefly. Firefly situation is really simple. don't pull her. That's it. I'm gonna be honest, and the main reason is if you don't own a one May or if you don't own a Fugue, it will be really hard for you to pull out a Firefly in the future patches. And if you already own a Ruame, then you have to get Fugue. I'm gonna be honest, with just HMC it's really hard to pull out her on the 3.x patches. It really is. Plus there are other DPSs that are really strong, especially the Herda. I'm gonna be honest. That character looks really broken and a little bit fun, not gonna be honest. Firefly is not that fun, but it's just, she's a straight out broken character in my opinion. And you will see the numbers difference is crazy, especially Herda's numbers. I don't know if you watch leaks. I don't want to talk too much, but just imagine she has a backloaded nuke. She's like an erudition version of freaking, what's her name, Black Swan. She stacks up a thing and she just explodes it. It's just, she's like a nuke. She's like a time bomb, and it's kind of fun, not gonna be honest. But now, moving to Firefly's case, like I said, they're kinda shadow nerfing, or it can say entirely nerfing break. On top of, you have way too much, requirement for her or any of the break units, not just her, any break units to work, and that you don't want that, especially now anyway. So I would just recommend you, especially new players, to skip her, because if you don't have Ruame, if you don't have Fugue, it's really hard to make any break units work, not just her. It's just mandatory. But you can just save up a little bit more judges and just go for the next patch on the next planet, get a really strong DPS like Herda. Well, her F2 teams are way stronger than even Firefly's F2P teams. That's what I'm saying. Like even her F2P teams will out damage some of her premium teams. That's what I'm saying. Just skip her. You don't need Jade and some stuff to work, make her work. I will talk about her when she's about to release, but just keep this in mind. Firefly, it just needs a little bit too much now to work on end games, especially 3.x patch. You have to think a little bit about future when you're going to get a rerun character. Simply, okay. If the rerun DPS, especially if it's a DPS and it doesn't have that much value going forward, it's better to skip and get a better DPS or get a better support. That's what I'm saying. You could always go for Fugue, and you won't regret that much as going for Firefly, and maybe you're like, ah, man, she's not doing that much damage, she's not clearing any games, and you're struggling. Then there is a problem. The good thing about Firefly, though, she could go into all three game modes and be decent. Like she could go into Pure Fiction, Apocalypse Shadow, Animosity, and do decent. Not like decent. I think the only mode she will struggle is probably Pure Fiction. But if you have Linksha, I think you're fine. So yeah. So for pull values, like I said, if you like break, and if your like whole account is like break, balanced around break DPSs, a Fugue is a 10 out of 10 pull. Like you need it's a must pull. But if you don't care about break and you don't have break, it's just like a probably 4 or 5. So it depends upon your account and your taste of game, simply. Firefly is simple. She's going to be somewhere like 5 or 6 currently, just because there are DPSs that are going to come in that will just hit harder and just work better. Plus they're nerfing. Okay, they don't want break anymore. They're nerfing, but not in a big way. You can still make it work, but you need some top tier units for them to work, and that's not what you want most of the time. Especially if you're a beginner, you want less investment on these units. So yeah, I hope this video helps you, and if it did, please leave a like and